Okay. Gave me the thumbs up. We're back. Back in the therapist's office. I still don't know how to start the shows yet.
Well,
nothing like natural's coming. Like
that's as good a way as any.
When we did the first time around, like doing the whole courtroom theme, that just came naturally now. Just since again we're kind of in therapy mode. I'm not sure. So let's say our hour has begun.
Okay.
Our hour on the couch has begun. Take that and interpret it as you will. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Devil's Due. I'm your host, Carl Duty. With me is a man who looks very deep in thought and is regretting his decision to side with the Empire and bring home one of their stray pieces of equipment, Mr. Drew Celestino.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I warned you.
You did warn us.
I warned you explicitly.
He loves it, so I'm just going to be grateful. Thank you. It's a gigantic toy AT-AT, and it makes noise. It has blaster sounds.
All the noises.
Yeah, I can handle all of its sounds except the blaster sound, especially when he just spams the button like a noob playing Street Fighter.
Yep.
So, or Tekken, rather,
We actually have some Street Fighter centric stuff to talk about later.
Neat. I'm not deep in thought. I literally just clicked the publish button on our YouTube channel because Google Podcasts went away. So now the Devil's Due podcast will be available on YouTube.
So we're on YouTube?
We're going to be on YouTube.
We're on YouTube.
By the time this episode goes live, we might be on YouTube.
Huh.
There's going to be a lot of, by the time you hear this episode, things will have happened, content in this episode.
Yep.
So,
this opens up realms of possibilities.
Sure. It's just another place for people to get podcasts. So, hey,
we could.
What's one more option?
Could we live stream the show?
I don't know. Maybe. Do you want? I don't want to show anybody how I live down here. Not till I clean this place up a bit. Let me get the desk cleared off so I can actually see it. I was just saying to Carl before we went live, I come down here nowadays and I work down here 8 hours a day, and my musical gear is down here, so sometimes it's longer. And every time I bring someone else down, I just feel like Lenny in that one episode of The Simpsons where the wall of his house falls down. And don't tell anyone how I live.
Don't tell anyone how I live.
That's how I feel right now.
That's the name of the episode until we come up with a better one. Don't tell anyone how I live.
I approve.
Alrighty, so let's set some context here. It is Sunday evening.
Almost. It's
evening-ish.
The sun is still. I'm still not used to summer hours yet. So.
Yeah. It is Memorial Day weekend. We decided you, Jen, and Mr. Steve Bajak came over to Mikasa yesterday.
Champions Day.
We had a Marvel Champions Day, and we completed the next chapter in the Sinister Seasons campaign. We defeated Mysterio.
He was a chump.
Yeah.
We handled Mysterio pretty well.
Jen had an all-timer first round, first turn.
Was it 16 points of damage on her first turn?
Damage.
Yeah,
folks,
pretty solid.
On average, like a good amount of damage on turn is between what would you say? Between 6 and 8.
Well, for a character like mine, 6, 8, maybe 9 if I got some stacking stuff going on.
Because you're playing
with
Hawkeye,
allies. Yeah.
And Jen's playing She-Hulk.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason that She-Hulk would dish more damage than Hawkeye.
Yeah, but she got to just stack a bunch of stuff on top of each other.
On the first hand, though, it is rare to see that high that quickly, that much damage. So that set us off to a good beginning.
Yep.
But then the second phase was getting a little hairy, but we persevered. We did okay.
Yeah, I never felt like we were in danger of losing. It's just everything he was doing to us made it much more annoying to beat him. Especially when you would draw the treachery card that told you to discard your entire hand and draw back up. I think you got that and Jen got that and both of you got it when you had really good hands. So yeah, he was fun. And next we are on to the Sinister Six.
Yeah, which ironically are not the final bosses of the Sinister campaign.
The final boss
makes sense. Sure,
was
spoilers.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I don't want to build up any excitement because there was who I thought the final boss was going to be before the campaign came out. Then there was who it was. I was just like, okay, sure.
If that's not Marvel Comics in 2024, nothing is, man. Okay, sure.
So
why not?
Sir, how was your weeks since we did this last?
Well, nothing too exciting to report. Yeah, I don't know. We're probably going to get into stuff we've been doing, so I guess, now is as good a time as any. I have got a new video game that I'm enjoying called Animal Well, and I would recommend it to anybody that enjoys creepy, mysterious Metroidvanias, but not a Metroidvania, more of a puzzle game wrapped in a Metroidvania wrapper.
Okay. I've seen some footage of it. The animation is very beautiful.
I can't really describe what it is because I don't really know what it is. It's just a vibey game. You kind of just fall into its world and you have you let it kind of tell you what to do. Like you figure out what to do. There's nothing inherently telling you this does this, and here's a tutorial on how it does the thing. Here, start here and then progress this way. No, you go where you go and you'll figure out whether you can keep going that way or not.
Yeah.
And then when you get something, you're encouraged to well, I have this thing. What does it do? Oh, it connects to this other thing. Of course it does. Like a lot of aha moments.
Right.
Right. So unlike the games of our youth on the NES where, well, I was just supposed to know there's a turkey in that wall, Simon Belmont. Of course that item that has no relation to this situation whatsoever does that now because you would never think it, but there it is.
Yep.
No, it's not like that. Like it's very yes, I have the match. I have seen candles here and there. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
Game doesn't tell you that. You just figure it out.
Right.
And then there's different items that you pick up that are, I'm not going to call them weapons, they're items that do things because there's no real combat in the game per se. Although there are enemies that will absolutely kill you. So,
gotcha.
But you can't really fight them back for it. But it's a really cool game. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I don't know how many hours into it I am. It's got the whole Souls-like thing. I mean, you'll die a lot. You're going to die a lot. But unlike, say, your Shovel Knights or whatever. Not Shovel Knight. The other one I love, Hollow Knight. That's the one. Thank you.
So many knights.
So many knights. Dark Knight of the Soul. You don't there's no coins to go back to where you died so you can collect your coins again before you die again and lose what you had. There's no, it's not like that. You just die and, you can look at the map and go, oh, I died there. And, there's nothing to recollect. It's just, that's where you died. Fine, whatever. Pick up, carry on. It's neat. It's very neat. The puzzles are you will invest some mental energy figuring out how to do stuff. A lot of timing, a lot of platformy timing kind of things, which if you're not into, I might recommend. This game might not be for you, but again, definitely a feeling of accomplishment when you get through a section that you have died 16 times at.
Yeah.
But you know this, it can be done. You know it can be done. And then when you finally do it, it's like, well, yeah, of course I can do it.
See, the last time I played a game that you spoke of like this was Inside, which, while great and very enjoyable, was also Nightmare Fuel.
It becomes Nightmare Fuel. Yeah. I don't think these are quite the same thing. Okay. Then again, I haven't finished Animal Well yet, and I don't know if it's going to have some kind of grand finale like Inside did. I don't really care if it does or not. I'm just enjoying the ride.
That's fair.
That's all I can ask for.
All right.
Out of a game these days. So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to.
All right.
How are you? to quote a rogue scoundrel in disguise.
It was relatively uneventful week, at least this past week, week 4 last, Julie was out of town for a couple days. And so it was just me and William. Did some fun stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm being like sappy-ish or whatnot. I know my friend Manny's going to laugh at me for this because we were making fun of his daughters, my goddaughters.
You're making fun of his daughter?
No. Let me finish the sentence. We're making fun of his daughter's, my goddaughter's husband.
Okay.
Because when last we recorded, I had been to Erie, PA for his ordination ceremony, and her husband, they've been married a very short time, was texting her about how much he misses her and is not sleeping right at night. The not sleeping right, I can totally get behind, because whenever Julie is gone, I never sleep right. So it's weird. But we had fun. She was only gone a couple days. And then this past week was her brother's birthday, so we went over to their place. I introduced them to Scout, which they all enjoyed.
Play Scout.
Scout's great. Scout's so much fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been kind of a laid back week this week so far. You know, we didn't have games Friday night. We had our Champions Day Saturday and day Sunday, and we're here prior to the AEW pay-per-view event Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing, the 5th anniversary of AEW's first event.
Yay.
It's been a wild 5 years.
It's had its moments. It's immortal.
I hope it's immortal, but, you know, with immortality comes strikes and gutters, ups and downs.
Yeah.
So it's okay, you know.
I'm curious to check, because I saw on Twitter that there were still, as of yesterday, 1,000 tickets unsold for the event, which for an AEW pay-per-view, that's a lot.
I feel like this is a lesson they must learn, and this is something that has been bothering me and them for a while. When they started out, cheap tickets was a company policy. They wanted it to be accessible to people to bring their families and not pay a fortune.
Yeah.
They lost that along the way. Tickets have been very expensive for a while now.
For example, they're coming to Buffalo next week.
And it's not cheap.
This is the second time they've come to Buffalo. We went there for the first time and had really good seats.
We have really good seats again, just FYI.
Okay.
Don't fret. But I just think that they need the growing pains of the company are, hopefully they're learning lessons from these growing pains. Get your ticket prices figured out and promote your events in the towns you're going to. They don't do that very well. People are often surprised, like, "Oh, they're coming!" Like, get your stars on the local TV market. You know,
you have a whole bunch of them that you're not using.
Yeah, send them out on AM Buffalo. Send them to the radio stations. Make the rounds. Do the radio spots.
Right.
Like, promote.
To be fair, though, do we know for absolute certain they're not doing that? 'Cause
I do. I do know that.
Feel that I can say safely that neither one of us listen to broadcast radio.
I've looked into this issue. A lot of people, not just me,
right,
have leveled this complaint at them for a long time now.
Okay.
This is not just us saying we didn't see you on AM Buffalo, so we don't know. No.
Yeah.
This is a thing with them. They don't do enough to promote their brand.
Yeah. The ticket pricing, I think, is especially got out of hand because when they were here last, we went and we were in if you're thinking, they were at the arena, the hockey arena, whatever its name was or will be at the time. First Niagara Center. KeyBank Center. Just going to keep calling it Crossroads Arena.
Okay, Larry Quinn.
So think of like it's a hockey arena predominantly. So we were not the first row behind the boards.
No.
But the second row behind the boards.
I don't think we were that close, were we?
No, we were. We were. We were the second row behind the boards, and we were just slightly off center. And those tickets were, I believe we said like 80-ish.
Okay, well,
a pop. And when the tickets went up for the sale for the show in June, this coming June, For those same seats, you said they were in the neighborhood of $250.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
I mean, Carl, do you follow the news? Do you know what's going on right now? The feds are coming after Ticketmaster and Live Nation. It's collusion all around. And it's also the companies want more. I mean, they're trying to get top dollar for the top tickets. I understand that.
I get that, but like, even WWE doesn't ramp up that much.
Yes, they do.
WWE tickets, in comparison, from what I've seen, are relatively inexpensive.
Depending on where you sit. For the prime seats, second row of the 100, you can fully expect to spend that much.
All right.
Ringside, same thing. Like, there's a market rate for the best seats in the house, and the market rate is very high because those companies know full well that the super fans will pay it. And everything everything is kind of tiered from there.
Yeah. So we have had a good streak of attending live AEW shows.
I'm gonna go.
We're gonna.
I'm gonna cry about it, but I'm gonna go.
We did the two in Rochester.
Yes,
and there were title switches at both. And then there was a title, not a switch, but in Buffalo was the first show after the infamous Brawl Out.
Ah, yes.
Which even back then I was surprised was not more attended.
Well, what did I say about promotion?
Yeah. So
that in Buffalo, I'm sorry, but I say this about concerts as well. We are a lame market. Buffalo is easily 2 to 5 years behind the rest of the country in catching up to like what's going on. So,
fair enough. So yeah, we got that going on. So we're here. Double or Nothing is happening tonight. Card looks promising.
The thing with an AEW pay-per-view
there's a Jericho match on it, so I know when my pee break's going to be.
The thing with any AEW pay-per-view is even if the card looks like not necessarily fire, the show will still probably be straight fire.
Yeah.
Their batting average for pay-per-views is like stupid high.
Did you see Tanahashi just randomly showed up on Collision?
A random Tanahashi showed up. I mean, he can't really go anymore, but it's the ace. Hey, look, that guy carried NJPW for almost 15 years.
Not throwing any shade, but like I think once you can no longer go or carry company, you can no longer be considered the ace.
It's his gimmick, man. He's the ace.
Okay, if it's a gimmick, then that's one thing. All
yeah. Right. Clearly, he's not the ace anymore.
Yeah.
But he's the ace, man.
Another thing. This past Friday, but the Friday before that, and this is one of those things where we have different tastes. I know you're probably not going to dig this as much as I've been digging it. But Slash came out with a new album.
Oh.
A blues album.
Okay.
So it's a mixture of new stuff and covers. So he's had guests on and whatnot. One thing I have noticed is that Slash always tends to find a female pop vocalist and put them on a song, and the song absolutely rips. Like when he did not his first solo album, but his first big collab solo album, he did a song with Fergie. And you're thinking, Fergie, really? And you listen to the song, like, this song rips. So on this album, he did a cover of Papa Was a Rolling Stone with Demi Lovato doing the vocals. And shocker, it rips. So I'm enjoying it.
Cool. I went. I kind of neglected. If we're on the musical realm for a moment, I forgot that in the last couple weeks, I got to see Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes twice, back-to-back nights. Once in Toronto, once in Buffalo. Very different experiences both times due to the vibes, but both shows completely ruled. So if you all are not into Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, I would say get into Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes because they are pretty killer.
Which show had better vibes?
Toronto for sure, because it was a sold-out room, small, about the size of this room right here. 400 people, like in my basement, basically.
That physics doesn't pan that out.
And it went hard. It was great. And then Buffalo happened, and it was a beautiful new venue. The old Trelf is now Electric City. They completely redid the whole place. It's beautiful, but it was a very sparsely attended show. There was maybe 100 people there. And there was some really awkward vibes because some weirdo showed up on a free ticket and disrespected the band and the audience. Just it was just stupid. It was
Did
really
they eject him?
no. They should have been ejected, but Frank Carter of said Rattlesnakes said, like, you know, he was getting pretty heated, but he was like, you know what? At the end of the day, you're causing a problem, dude. But you know what? And security went over and was gonna toss him. He's like, no, let him stay. So at the end of the night, you'll either love us or you'll hate us, but you won't be indifferent, and that's just whatever. So whatever, let's just go. So out of respect for the band, I was getting pretty heated with this person causing the said disturbance.
Yeah.
And had Frank Carter not said something, I probably would have like done something about it myself, because I was getting really pissed. I was pissed on behalf of the band, because they were clearly like not cool with what was going. No one was. Like, it was bringing down the whole vibe of the whole show. And you know what? We just made our peace with it and let the show go on, and it rocked. They killed. We hung out. Jason and I hung out after the show out by the vans and waited for them to come out, and like we met the band and hung out with them for like 20-30 minutes.
Nice.
Just to say, like, hey man, Buffalo ain't like that. I'm sorry that happened. Like, nah man, whatever, it's cool. Very kind London blokes. So, you know,
Nice.
it was cool. I don't want those guys. They don't come to the States very often.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to ever come back and be like, oh, Buffalo, we're not going there. No, they had nothing but great things to say about the venue, the staff there, and said that they would definitely be back. So, you know, anyway, it was a great night, despite certain things that went on. Toronto, though, was a party.
Nice.
And it was killer.
So, question.
Yeah.
You being in a band or a musical performer, you're kind of your own version.
Once upon a time,
you're kind of your own version of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. In my wildest imagination, yes.
When you meet and are conversing with another band, is it considered uncouth to be like, "Hey, I happen to be in a band"?
I'm not going to necessarily go out of my way to. I'm well past the age where that's a thing I would do, to like bring it up willingly. It came up while we were talking with the Rattlesnakes, and then they got inquisitive, like, "Oh, really? What are you guys doing?" And I had to kind of be like, "Well, you know, we're on hiatus right now, and we had a good 15-year run, and now we're kind of doing the life thing, and you know, it was fine, like, you know." But I generally will not. I don't know, man. Like, I have nothing. I'm not trying to go prop myself up to these other people anymore, because what are they gonna, like, me and I'm sure you are, you and everyone else that I talk to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so what's
like,
to be gained?
It's kind of like nowadays when you say you have a podcast.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I actually said I did not get a single. I bought. Let me clarify.
Right.
I purchased the autographed vinyl pressing of their latest album.
Yeah.
At the merch table. So when we met them after the show, I told them as much. Like, dude, I don't want anything from you. I'm not asking for an autograph. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you for coming here. I hope you come back again, because y'all are great, and I would love to see you again in my hometown.
Right.
And they were really great. They were really gracious about that. And that's the truth. Like, I don't want anything from these guys except, you know, the show. Just come here and let's throw down. I'm here for it, you know? So I'm not out trying to sell anybody anything. I'm kind of, I can't do that anymore. Like, I don't have that grind in me anymore to go begging people to appreciate my stuff. Hopefully you'll find my stuff and you'll just like it, but I'm not going to beg you
Fair
for
enough.
it. I don't want to beg you for it, because
You ain't too proud to beg.
I am too proud to beg. I'm so, you know, and you might, and then there's going to be the whole mindset of like, well, you know, you got to grind, bro, and you got to, you know what? I go on YouTube. I listen to podcasts. I am connected to social media. Too many of y'all grinding too hard. Like, the desperation that I see in the world right now.
Yeah.
It's just people begging for attention, and I just think it's so it's just so pathetic.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, it's like even us coming back to this is like we said from the outset, this is more of a therapeutic exercise for the two of us than anything else. We have no delusions about what this is or what this may become.
I'm not asking anybody for anything. We are not asking anyone for anything. There's no sponsor we're asking you to click on. There's no promo code that's going to get you any deals. We're not going to, go to, I've seen a lot of that this week. We can talk about it if you want to. I'm not going to bat for a corporation that does stupid things just so I can stay in said corporation's good graces because I'm an influencer, I'm air quoting, influencer, and I want to get the invite to the next thing. So therefore, I'm going to defend every dumb decision said corporation makes because I want to stay in the good graces of said corporate. I'm not doing that. I don't care. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about something. And if someone, I'm not nobody, so whatever.
Yeah.
But even if I weren't nobody, like, I'm not going to. No, dude, like, the truth is the truth. And I'm going to tell you what my version of the truth is. And I don't care if it upsets someone. I'm not asking for anything here.
Yeah.
I'm just here to talk and to give you a piece of my mind. You can like it or not.
Fair.
But I'm not going to beg you for something. And I'm not going to kiss up to corporate overlords in hopes I'm going to get something out of it. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that we can stand out with this show is, are we popular? No. But you can always rely on 100% honesty from us at all times.
Nothing here is bought and paid for.
Yeah.
This is it.
But we do have our listeners, and we do love each and every one of you.
And I hope they know that. And I think if they do listen, they know that that's what we're about. Like, you're going to get real. We're not going to give you spun garbage. You're going to get the truth.
We have a dog down here.
I mean, yeah, there's 4 dogs in this house, Carl.
Not for nothing, though. Like, for all the time we've been doing this, Volume 1 and now Volume 2, I think it's the first time we've ever had a dog come into the studio.
Well, when we were doing it before, Grant was still a baby, so he couldn't open the door by himself.
That's fair.
He was down here for a second. I made him go back upstairs. You didn't see that because this is an audio medium.
Yeah. So, all right.
Do you remember the email address? A little late in the show, but it's the devilsdupod@gmail.com. There it is. People can get at us there.
You can, folks. It's up and running again.
It's back in email form.
27
minutes into the show, we can tell them how to contact us.
Yeah.
There's a button on the website.
Yeah. There's a button on the website. We have access to it again. Shoot us an email if you want. I don't think we're going to do the Twitter thing.
If you you can check that. I don't bother. So if you're still on Twitter at this point, God help you. That's on you. That's a you problem.
All right. So, do you want to talk about like some stuff that we might have seen that might have been interesting for the past couple weeks? Like, I got one thing in mind.
Sure, you go first.
All right. So
I talked about Animal Well.
Yeah. You talked about Animal Well. Actually, I did put out the call before I came over. It was about an hour ago, so we didn't get as many responses this time.
That's
which is fine. But we did get a response from Mr. Brian Stone.
Sick.
The CEO of the Buffalo fighting game community, as it were. Good dude all around. And Brian said, X-Men 97, was it actually worth the wait? And then in parentheses, he says, the answer is yes. He said even a Daredevil cameo. So
I saw that.
Are you caught up?
I am. I did finish it.
Okay, so final thoughts?
I enjoyed it thoroughly. It did more than I expected it to do. It went above and beyond what I expected a nostalgia-driven piece of media to be.
Yeah.
It's almost like they took your memory of the show,
right,
and made that real. Like, it grew up with us,
right,
and then gave us something new that we remembered, but also is grown up now.
Yes.
So it hits. It's not I wouldn't say it's the kids' cartoon necessarily anymore. It definitely gets a little more mature. Caught a profanity or two in there. My only reservations about it is they're moving at a very fast clip, with storylines. Now, granted, they're picking and choosing stuff from all different time periods and kind of just mishmashing it all together.
Yeah.
So, it's not like they're going in chronological order of the comics, but where they're seemingly going for the next season, and even where they dabbled into in this one, it's not my favorite stuff. And it's kind of like, if they get into some of this stuff, it's the stuff that turned me off to the X-Men, and for a good long, well, not good long while, but a good number of years in the 90s.
Example.
Timey-wimey shenanigans, Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And if they get into Age of Apocalypse, and if they get into Feral Wolverine, that kind of stuff.
So
that's all stuff that, yeah, dude, that's when the sales started to tank.
Yeah. So I said
in the 90s. I remember.
Yeah. So I said to Alan in our chat, I said to both of you actually, like that. I watched season finale and I thought it was good, but it didn't quite stick the landing or like hit. There were things that kind of bothered me. The two things in principle that kind of bothered me, as you mentioned, time travel. I hate time travel.
I mean, it's the X-Men.
I know, but still,
what it is now.
Time travel.
I know.
I hate time travel unless your story is about time travel, i.e. Back to the Future. I don't like shoving time travel into a story because. So that was that thing. So like the splitting up of the team and...
I don't like how they split up into different time periods. I did like the splitting up of the team and stuff, going to Asteroid M when blue team does
blue
this.
Team, gold team. That I'm all there for that. That was great.
Right.
The other thing is that, listen, I know it's a cartoon. I know it's also just based off a Saturday morning cartoon, but last I checked, even mutants, unless their power dictates otherwise, cannot survive in the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
They were just kind of flying all around there, just like where were Rogue and Bastion fighting? Was it the moon?
Look, man. Well, okay. In fairness, Bastion's part robot, so he doesn't really need air.
That's fine.
Rogue has Captain Marvel's powers, and that's kind of a sliding scale of, well, sure, she can breathe in space.
So what about Sunspot and Jubilee?
That's a whole different... I don't know what's going on
there. She would
there.
have popped like one of her fireworks.
So, look, man. And this is something I think I brought up in like maybe in the first episode or two, I brought it up to you guys, like, there's a tonal thing they have to hit, and I all I said was, they haven't done it yet, but one of my fears is that they'll use the crutch that it's just a cartoon, it's just a Saturday morning nostalgia thing. They'll use that as a crutch to get away with stuff like that. Like, even though they've respected your intelligence to a point, whenever they want to just do stuff, they'll just fall back on, well, it's just a cartoon. Yeah. And I said, I feel like that's a lazy crutch to use.
Yeah. But that being said, that's really the only time throughout the series I can think of them doing that. All in all, I thought the series was great. I absolutely loved it. It far exceeded my expectations, and I'm excited about season 2.
Same. Like I said, I hope it doesn't get too in the weeds of, again, the storylines I don't like. But then again, what does that even mean? Like, the X-Men are, boy, oh boy, are they a convoluted bubble, and you either are in for the ride or you're not. I don't know. I'm in, I'm out. I like the X-Men, but boy, oh boy, do I sometimes not like the X-Men.
I could not even begin. If someone came to me and said, hey, I watched X-Men 97, I really want to catch up to see where the X-Men are now, I could not even begin to point them in the right direction.
Well, good news, Carl. They're relaunching all the X titles like imminently.
Of course they are.
There's a new jumping on point for you.
It's a day ending in a Y.
Yeah, a relaunch in comics.
X-Men do more than, like, we've said it before on the show. The X-Men continuity is more screwed up and convoluted than the whole of Marvel.
Yeah.
And I would argue the whole of DC.
Well, let's not go too far.
That's
Slow down.
something.
Slow down. No, you're right, though. It's a disaster. And that's kind of, at this point, it's almost part of the, it's like, it's so messed up, it's just baked in as part of the charm. I don't know how charming it is, but look, man, it's the people like the X-Men, and the metaphor is kind of timeless. As long as there is some level of intolerance in our world, the X-Men have a place in it, and there will be people that are going to be drawn to it as a concept. So it's just one of those things. But boy, oh boy, you know, they're exhibit A of why comics don't need to go forever. Like, part of the beauty of comics is that they just never end and they go forever, but part of the bad part of that is like, yeah, but where do I start? What more can you do with this character that hasn't been done?
Yeah.
Wouldn't this character have learned by now? Like, there's something to be said for just a finite story. And, you know,
Millhouse, we have to reshoot scene 32A.
we did it. It took 30 takes, but we did it. It's done.
Yes, but we need more angles. We have to shoot it again and again. And again and again and again.
Oh, Wolverine said, I've said that I'm the best there is at what I do so many times, it's lost all meaning. Yes, Logan, you certainly have.
But can we get Wolverine to say Jiminy Jillikers?
Sure. Why not?
I'd be there for that. That might get me back in the comics.
So yeah, X-Men 97 was good. I would recommend it. That's definitely fun stuff. They hired a writer for the movie.
Okay.
Show me. I don't know. I don't know. Show me something.
Yep.
Until then, I don't know.
It's just kind of where I am right now. There's no like director hire, there's no like writer hire, no casting that's going to get me excited until I actually see something on the screen in motion.
Yeah, we talked about this before, but I still think, and this is probably why it's not going to happen, not because I think it, but because it's what they should do and they won't do it. If you want to get butts and seats, if you want to relaunch the X-Men in the MCU, you're going to have to pull on those X-Men 97 heartstrings a little, I think, and show people what they've never seen before in live action.
Yeah.
And I said to you, 2 years when the Fox acquisition happened, what do you want? What do you do with the X-Men, dude? You better put the giant size X-Men #1 roster on the screen in their costumes, straight up.
Yeah.
You want to pluck an extra member here or there from a different run, fine, but like, we need the colorful, multicultural, giant size X-Men #1 roster: Nightcrawler, Colossus, Cyclops, Wolverine, Warpath, Storm, everybody. Get them all up there. Like, maybe not Warpath, but you know what I'm saying. Like, fine. You know what? No, I take it back.
Give me Warpath. Give me Sunfire.
Put some respect on Warpath's name. Yeah, let's go.
He dies in the next issue. So what?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's come back like
well,
3 times.
then you got a baked-in reason to kill a character in the movie. There you go. A little gravitas. But, you got to do that. Like, don't hide from it. Show me.
Yeah.
And, will they do that?
We'll see.
Probably not. I fully expect them to
Fox it up.
Well, not Fox. This is Kevin Feige at this point. But I feel like they can't help themselves. Like, I resisted, and I still want to resist the, Disney ruining property narrative that's out there.
Yeah.
But it's starting to become very noticeable. Like,
I think,
and what I mean by that is that business decisions are starting to become very self-evident in the media that's being produced.
Right.
Didn't used to be that way. I don't think it used to be that way, but I see it more now. And it's like, nah, man, can we not do that? Like, can you just let them make the thing, and then you just sell the thing? Don't tell them how to make the thing so that you can sell the thing. I don't know.
I think at some point, like when you have a singular guiding mind to it, in this case, Kevin Feige, who's like up until like from Iron Man to Endgame, it's batting 1,000.
Sure.
Like, yeah, there were some There were some foul offs here and there, Thor Dark World and Iron Man 3, which still, I maintain, not bad, just not, up there with the rest of the quality of Marvel at the time. To use a sports analogy, sometimes you got to replace the coach because the team just ain't listening anymore.
Yeah, you got to change the best. Yeah.
Joe Torre couldn't coach the Yankees forever.
Sometimes you got to shock the room.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they got to fire Kevin Feige.
No, absolutely no. But get second set of eyes on it.
Yeah, get someone in to light a little spark.
Typically is what happens when we have 3 prime examples of this. In things that we're passionate about, because you've got Kevin Feige with Marvel, you've got Tony Khan with AEW, and you have, I'm not even going to say his name because of the disgusting things he's accused of, the former chairman and CEO of WWE.
Well, he's gone now, and their business is on fire.
I know he's gone, but there's an example of someone with complete creative control that wouldn't listen to anyone, and you see what happened to the product. I think after a while, even the best creators need some help.
Yeah, no, absolutely do. Sometimes you need a fresh voice.
Yeah,
Marvel could use a little refresh. I don't know how that works or who could do it, but they need someone else in there to kind of shock the room a little bit.
Yeah,
who? I don't know, but someone. Whatever. Hey, they gave us a good run. I'm at this point in my life. I just okay. Yay,
So, speaking more of things that we were passionate about, earlier this week, the long-awaited Akuma made his return to Street Fighter.
Yeah,
and a downloadable character for Street Fighter 6, and he's looking crazy fun as always. But kind of coinciding with that, the production studio Legendary tweeted out what is supposedly the logo for their up-and-coming Street Fighter live-action movie.
I didn't know this was happening.
Oh yeah, they're making another live-action movie. So the logo is nothing new. It's actually kind of the logo that's been used for a lot of the past comics, and is kind of more the Capcom-approved, been used fairly regularly logo.
The red and yellow Street Fighter logo. Will I recognize it as a Street Fighter logo?
You will not recognize it as a Street Fighter logo.
Then they're doing it wrong.
You are aware of, but I recognize it as a Street Fighter logo that has been used probably a little over a decade now. So I'm going to try and look it up here.
Yeah, look. Tell me you're not serious without telling me you're not serious. You want to hit the masses, you're going to have to hit them with something familiar. So give them the Street Fighter 2 logo and just,
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you.
I'm just spitballing. I don't know. This is more your forte than mine, so.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. No, they're doing it right.
Yeah. Well,
I asked red and yellow, and yeah, that's fine.
They did the
Hulkamania logo.
They did a logo right.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. There have been 3 live-action Street Fighter adaptations. One lives in infamy for good reasons, one lives in infamy for bad reasons, and one is legitimately a good piece of cinema.
Legend of Chun-Li, chef's kiss.
Oh, God. So before I'll say it again. The Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter is to Legend of Chun-Li what Saving Private Ryan is to Catwoman. That's the gulf in quality between those two.
Wow. Okay. Well, what I would say about those,
and the one that's legitimately good,
the anime
Street Fighter Assassins Fist.
Oh, okay.
Which
can't speak to that. I haven't seen it, but what I would say, what those all were lacking was timing. And by that, I mean right now, Carl, we are living in, get ready.
Video game adaptations are coming.
Yes. Comic book movies, we're done with that. Hollywood has moved on. You know the meme with the guy looking at the girl?
Yep.
And the other girl's looking at him like, what?
Yep.
The guy in this case is Hollywood. The disgusted girl is comic book movies. The new hotness is video game movies.
Yep.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers made $1 billion. There's 3 Sonic movies.
And Super Mario Bros. Was dang near perfect.
For what it needed to be. I noticed there's a lot of like hate on that movie.
I don't get it. Like,
I think people wanted it to, like, it didn't really have anything to say. It's like, well,
It's
yeah, dude,
Mario.
it's Mario. Like, it had just enough to say, and it did the thing. Like, is it basically a fan service movie? Yeah. Did it need to do more than that? I don't know, but I would say no. Like, your previous attempt at this was wildly different from the source material, so we can't do that again because that was bad. So, like, this time they did it nice and safe. They fan serviced it up and still gave you some surprises that you didn't necessarily expect. Like, I was, the voice casting thing was like weird for me when they first announced it all.
Yeah.
Watching the movie now, perfectly fine. Everything's great. Jack Black, national treasure.
Yeah.
Protect him at all costs.
Charlie Day, national treasure.
Absolutely. Chris Pratt, fine. But people love to hate Chris Pratt. Like, whatever, man. He was fine. Okay. In any case, $1 billion.
Yeah.
Fallout on Prime is like the biggest show Prime's ever done.
Yeah.
So the video game adaptations are a coming.
And here's the thing. It's not just that these are successful. It's that they're good. Like,
They are good.
I loved Super Mario Bros. As I just said, I thought it was great. I've never played Fallout. I can't speak to Fallout, but from everything I've heard is that it's good.
I'm watching
Even
it.
if you didn't play the game, it's still good.
I've seen a few episodes. I would argue it's good, but
Granted, the bar is video game adaptation.
and that's the thing. Like, that aspect of it does crop up from time to time for me, where it's just like, yeah, this is good, but it's good for what it is, and people that like are proclaiming how brilliantly great it is are like overstating it a little bit.
But then, to answer that, you have Last of Us, which, again, not a game I played, not really a story I'm interested in watching, but by all accounts is like
Exceptional,
legitimately
sure.
good.
Yeah.
So I think hopefully they're seeing that like just adapting it is not enough. You actually have to be faithful and loving to the source material. Like prior to these recent examples, the best video game adaptation we ever had was Mortal Kombat.
The original.
The first Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat film.
And that's
We're
saying
not-
a lot because
we're not talking about Annihilation.
no,
We're not talking about the live action television series.
no.
And we're not talking about the USA animated cartoon.
What about the most recent movie, Carl?
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, I don't care about that either. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, man. Well, they're putting their effort in.
You're supposed to be at a tournament.
Yeah. Well, see, once again,
You know who the main character of Mortal Kombat is, Drew?
there's a lot of them.
Liu Kang.
He's one of them. Absolutely. Nah, we got a new guy just for the movie because we need a POV character for the audience insert for reasons. I know it's all very dumb. The thing that
Guys who made the original Mortal Kombat film were geniuses. They're like, you know what? We're just going to remake Enter the Dragon, and at some point shift it somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, the key thing with video game adaptations, and I've said it before, it's tricky because even if the story of a video game is great, part of the reason why you enjoy the thing is because you are vested in it. You are playing a game. Games are fun to play, and they are designed that way to stimulate your brain and make you happy when you play them.
Right.
You can't just take the narrative of a game, slap it into a movie, and expect it to hit. Like, it doesn't. The mediums do different things. It's the same reason why you can make the most visually faithful adaptation of Watchmen there ever has been into a movie and still completely miss the point, and it sucks because you didn't get it, and they do different things.
Yeah.
And video games are different than movies. So I'm happy that there's time and consideration and care being put in to realize that and go, okay, that works in a game. We need to make this work in a movie. So that care is being done now. Like you said, it's not enough just to adapt it. You have to adapt it and make it enjoyable for an hour and a half, So how are the upcoming adaptations going to be? I don't know, but we're going to get a lot of them.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking about it in Street Fighter.
Zelda's coming.
Zelda is coming. Is it animated or live action?
Live action.
Okay.
I know. The guy who made the new Planet of the Apes movie is the director.
Okay.
If nothing else, that tells me, well, he knows how to do cool effects. So it'll look cool. Can he make a movie? We'll find out.
And this statement is by no means to besmirch the hundreds and thousands of artisans who work on these films every day.
Yeah.
You all are capable of doing things that I never would be able to. Mm-hmm. So all respect to you. That being said, it doesn't take much for a movie to look cool, air finger quotes, nowadays.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is like with Street Fighter, you've got, obviously the easy way around it is to focus on Ryu.
Sure.
But
how juicy is he as a main character?
He's
narratively.
There's meat on that bone.
Okay.
But
is there a meatier bone?
But follow me here.
Okay.
You're not going to agree with me, but follow me here.
Dude, it's Street Fighter's your baby, so you roll. I'm going to let you cook.
The Street Fighter cinematic universe. You do the 8 original World Warriors.
Okay.
Each one of them gets their own movie.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Leading up to the tournament. But here's the thing. You have fun with some different genres.
Okay.
Like Guile, give me like a late 80s, 90s style action film. Okay. Him and Charlie going against, trying to track down Shadowloo and Bison and just pure action film. Let's see. Dhalsim. Quest for spiritual insight.
Okay.
Like really philosophical, deep thinking type of film with stretchy arms and yoga flames.
Okay.
Zangief.
Wrestling movie.
Do a wrestling movie.
Yes.
Pro wrestling political thriller set in late 80s, early 90s Russia.
See, if I were a producer right now, I'm throwing money at you to get to work on that one.
Yeah. E Honda. Culture, finding one's place in one's culture.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like,
what's the Ken movie?
I would almost say that I would almost say you do one movie for Ken and Ryu.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Because they're so intertwined.
How?
And Ryu's story is essentially how can I find this thing? How can I attain this level that I don't even know where to look for it? I just know I have to keep fighting. And Ken is like, how can I define myself apart from Ryu? I'm thinking Blanca's a comedy.
Really?
And I say that, and I love Blanca. Blanca was my first character, and I still use him at least a little bit every day.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Blanca, you find some way to do a comedy. Because I want to explore genres with these.
Okay. All right. Well,
Chun-Li, spy thriller.
Sure.
She's working with Interpol.
Okay.
All right, so we got Ken, Ryu.
That's everybody.
That's the original.
The OGs.
Yeah.
At what point in the SFCU do the X-Men show up?
I was about for a split second. I was like, "What are you talking?" Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the natural endpoint of all of this.
They joined
Marvel shows up.
They joined G.I. Joe first.
Oh, you're doing that. Oh, well, you lost me there. The G.I. Joe fan here is, I don't need to see G.I. Joe on the screen ever again. We've been down that well.
So
well,
you do that, and you bring it all together in the Street Fighter, the World Warriors tournament film.
I hope it works out for you. If there's any brand out there as big as Street Fighter that's like untapped, Street Fighter's as big as any of them. Like, go for it.
Could done the same thing with Mortal Kombat.
The thing with Zelda, for example, like I'm almost, dude, that's a totally, what a thankless job. Actually, I feel for that director, because what does that even look like? You know what I mean? Like, do you have any idea how many tonally different iterations of Zelda there have been? They're all wildly different from each other.
And I don't even play Zelda games.
There's common mythos and stuff, and there's common characters, but like the what they look like, what it feels like, they're all wildly different. Now that could also give the director, freedom to like say, well, they're all different anyway, so I'm going to do another riff on it this way. Great. But you know what? The problem with that, there's so many versions of it that there's fans of all those versions of it, and if you don't give any of them something they're familiar with or that they want, like they might reject your pitch. Okay.
Which version do you think is most adaptation friendly to modern Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom?
I guess sure, but I feel like they're gonna be, my money is they're gonna go down the Ocarina of Time well. They're gonna say, you know what, this is the big mamma jamma that everyone, it's the safest pick, everyone loves it, everyone knows the riffs, we're gonna do that one. And you know what? Fine. That's fine. But again, I just feel like I'm not going to say it's a fool's errand, because this can be done. We've dreamt of it. I just don't know what it looks like. The moment Link speaks is going to upset people, like, because Link doesn't speak. He's your player insert. So I don't know. They can get the best actor in the world, and I could be fine with whoever that might be, and when Link talks. But there's going to be a huge contingent of people that are not going to like it, because that's just not what they imagine Link to ever sound like. Hey man, right or wrong, I can't knock it. It's going to be weird, but let's see what happens. All I know is somehow, some way, it's never going to happen, but you've got to give me my Metroid trilogy. Never going to happen.
I mean, kind of already got it. It's called Alien, Aliens, and Alien 3.
In the broad strokes, but I think no. I mean,
the influence. I get what you're saying.
But you can do a lot there. I'd like to see that. I would love to see that, or an alien, a Metroid. Damn you, or a Metroid TV show. Give me a season or two of that. Show me what that looks like. But again, Metroid is not popular enough to do that. So anyway. Yeah. Where are we at here? Because we got a show to watch. So
yeah, we actually really quickly we can go out on this if you like.
Sure.
We got a post from Mr. J. Gelsomino.
Hey, is he on his way?
Are you coming tonight, Jay?
Jay, you coming tonight?
2 pay-per-views in a row.
Email us at thedevilsdupod@gmail.com after you hear this episode, and tell us if you're coming to this tonight. Don't ask how that works.
Okay, he's going back to classic format. Question for both of us and question for each of us.
Oh, I'm so nostalgic right now.
Drew and Carl, if you could turn one childhood toy into a real vehicle you own, what would it be? One childhood toy into a real vehicle you own. What would it be? I instantly know what my answer is.
I don't. Can I? You know what? No, I know what I want.
What do you want?
I want a trouble bubble.
Proper.
That's what I want.
That's good.
All right.
Not the best wintertime vehicle.
I don't care.
Don't care?
I want one.
Okay. All right. Trouble bubble it is. I'm going to go with Hot Rod.
Okay.
His vehicle form, obviously.
Fair enough.
Yep. All right. Cool. Drew.
Yes.
Frolic, love, murder.
Okay.
Devin Townsend, Grant Morrison, James Hetfield.
Oh, this is the F, marry, kill scenario.
Yep.
Okay. We're marrying Grant Morrison because he's lovely. We'll frolic with Hetfield, but we're murdering Devin Townsend.
Okay.
And I say that as someone who loves Devin Townsend. But
Alrighty.
but I
love you, but I must kill you.
I love you, but I need you to stop talking so much. Just put up music. Stop talking.
Okay, Carl, and this Jay's question for me, actually, he must have somehow heard what we were talking about.
He's on his way?
No.
Oh.
If you could pick one fighter in all video games to stand up for you in a trial by combat against an opponent of Drew's choosing,
Oh.
who would it be?
Okay.
This is tricky because I don't know who the opponent of your choosing will be. We'll say Doom Guy is going to be your opponent of choosing.
Good luck. How'd you get the Doom? That's fine. But yeah, fine. You're fighting Doom Guy.
Fighting Doom Guy. I'm gonna go with Akuma
Okay.
because, yeah,
Should be a rough run. It's gonna be bloody.
the Doom Guy is Doom Guy, but the Raging Demon is the Raging Demon.
Doom Guy kills raging demons. It's kind of what he does.
Yeah, not even like this.
I mean, Doom Guy's literally killed the devil
Yeah.
and God. Doom Eternal gets really weird. Just FYI. That's why I hate it.
So, all right, that's going to wrap it up. We got a pay-per-view to watch.
We do.
We've got food to get to,
Yes.
snackies to indulge in. Folks, we appreciate you, as always, joining us and listening to our rants.
We're back, and you're back too, according to our metrics.
Yes.
So
yeah, our metrics are, I don't. Oh, okay.
don't look a gift horse in the mouth, Carl.
But is it accurate?
I don't care. I'm happy to see it.
The number could be completely false. I don't care. It's a good false number.
We're not paying for the false number because that's a thing, by the way, and we're not doing that. So,
Yeah.
hey, with the number's the number.
Okay.
We're juicing the ratings, baby.
All right, folks, if you want to reach out to us, post on our Facebook page or email us at thedevilsdupod@gmail.com. Drew, any parting thoughts?
No.
All right. This has been the Devil's Due Born Again, and our hour on the couch is up.
Bye.